lesson 2 for Swift Playgrounds. This is corresponding with chapter 2 in the app called Functions, which is a fancy name for grouping tasks or putting a bunch of commands together to make a new command. Now, one thing you've probably learned about programming so far, I think I've said it, but I'll say it again, is that you cannot program a computer to do anything that you yourself don't know how to do. So in order to get the computer to accomplish a task, you have to yourself be able to break it down into smaller tasks that the computer already knows how to do. And if you can do that, you can teach the computer to do a new thing. Now, all of the commands that you have learned so far, those words that appear in Pascal case and have the brackets after them for what we call parameters, those are called functions. They're black box functions because there's a step-by-step list of instructions for the computer to carry out that you don't get to see. So the instructions in the move forward function, give Byte the basic tools he needs to go forward 1 square. So that is a function, but you don't see the code that makes it up. Chapter 2 here is about making up code to make new commands, which is essentially what creating a function is. It's making a new command. So every day you perform a lot of tasks automatically yourself without thinking what you're doing. Simple things like tying your shoe. You learned how to do this a long time ago, probably, and it's a number of steps that need to be performed in order to accomplish the final thing, which is tying your shoe. So you do 3 things. You make a loop, you make a swoop, and you pull, and it makes a bow. I mean, there's a couple of ways to do it, but that's the way that most of us tie our shoes. It's 3 steps. You make the loop, you swoop, and then you pull the knot tight. So you have a function that has been programmed to you, which is called tie my shoe. See that there, tie my shoe, the parameters. You've made a command called tie my shoe that has these 3 steps in it for yourself. And whenever you want to tie your shoe, you just have to think tie my shoe, which is the name of the function, and your brain automatically pulls up the instructions for loop, swoop, and pull and does it. So you tell yourself 1 word and your brain pulls up all of the internal instructions that it knows to go through to do it. And in the end, it becomes automatic. Now, this is the first time you're going to see these things. They're called curly braces or brace brackets, and they are the bane of a programmer's existence. Almost all programming languages use them, and if you get them out of order or you add one too many or you forget to put one at the end, you're going to wind up with a whole lot of heartache with your programming. So when you create a function, you start with func, which is instructions for the computer saying, hey, I want to make a function. You name the function. Now you can name the function anything you like. Generally the rule is that it should describe what the function does. So don't name your function x because you'll have no idea exactly what x is. So in this case we're going to call the function tie my shoe. We put the instructions into Pascal case because that's how it's supposed to be, and you have the parameters brackets at the end. We're not going to get into parameters anytime soon, so you don't need to worry about that. Then you open a brace bracket, you put the commands, which should be things that the computer already knows, in there, and then you close the brace bracket at the end. So those are the syntax rules for creating a function. Swift Playgrounds makes it pretty easy to follow those rules. So after you define your function, you call it by name. In this case, it's tie my shoe, and loop, swoop, and pull, the contents of the function, get loaded and get executed by, well, in this case, your brain. But when we work with the computer, it'll be, whatever the program interface is that you're using. In this case, it's Byte trying to walk through his little world and collect all his gems. So when I go to start coding, this works same as it did in chapter 1. All of Swift Playgrounds works like this. You'll get the puzzle in the right-hand pane, And over here on the left-hand pane, you get the instructions. So this tells you what you need to do. You may have noticed that there is no turn right command available in Byte's black box functions. He simply doesn't know how to turn right. But sometimes he's going to have to turn right in his work to solve his puzzles. So here's Byte, and he has to move 1, 2, 3 steps forward, and then he's got to turn right and move 3 steps forward again and collect his gem. So in order to get him to do that, we are going to have to enter some code that tells him how to turn right. And he doesn't know how to turn right yet. So we have to put that together out of the commands he already knows. So Byte has to move forward 3 times. Okay, and then he has to turn right. But he only knows how to move forward. He knows how to toggle the switch. There's no switches here in this puzzle. And he knows how to turn left. How can I make a right turn out of left turns? Simple. I have to make 3 left turns, and that'll make 1 right turn for Byte there. And then he's going to move forward 3 more times, and then he's going to collect a gem. So let's see if this works for him. We're going to remember, we can make it go faster, so you don't have to sit around and wait for it to happen as long as you would otherwise. So there goes Byte. 3 left turns, makes a right, and he gets his gem, and he wins. Okay, so that's awesome, except this has nothing to do with functions other than these commands are all functions. It's only on the next puzzle where we get to make our own function. So here's the code. They've laid it out for you. In later examples, you're going to have to do it yourself, but you get to create the function turn right here. So they've given you the function name and the brace brackets and a box to put code in. So I can now choose from the commands that Byte knows how to do. See, turn right is listed here, no documentation available, because we haven't yet taught him how to turn right. So now I'm going to teach him 3 turn lefts, and then when I go to enter the code, I'm going to get him to move forward 3 times. Oh, wait, this is a different puzzle. Okay, so we've got to evaluate Byte's needs here. He's going to move forward 2 times, and then, where's he going here? What's he got to do? He has to toggle some switches. Okay, we're just gonna do this for fun. We're gonna have him move forward, and then I'm gonna get him to turn right so that he'll come here. So to get him to turn right, I have now created a command called turn right, and I can use that there. So if Byte is going to execute that command, and we're going to get him to do it regular speed, he's going to move forward 1 space. That's the code here. This is the main code here. This is the function code. This function code doesn't get executed or never happens until you call it, issuing the command turn right here. When the computer receives this turn right command, it will refer to the function you've created and carry out the instructions there. So let's get Byte to do that. He should move forward a space, and then he should turn right, which is actually 3 left turns. Forward, 3 left turns, which are a right turn. So he's made a right turn. So we're getting there. I'm going to leave the rest of this puzzle up to you. I'm not going to solve it, but this is a switch that Byte is going to toggle using the command toggle switch, which means he will switch it off if it's on or on if it's off. It should all be pretty clear to you. Guys, I'd like to remind you that you need to keep up with these. I noticed that almost everybody's logged into the hub, but I've only got 2 more entries for Learn to Code 1's number 1 assignment commands. So please, just do them. Take a screen capture of the green dots. I just need to know you did them. I don't need to see them themselves because you don't get a green dot if you don't win the puzzle. And then submit that screenshot so that I can give you credit for having accomplished this. All right, hope you're all well. I'm going to be back tomorrow with number 3. So have a great day, submit your stuff, and I'll see you tomorrow.